This video takes us to Port Germein, and while we're there we'll show you around the town of Port Germein. We'll show you what was the longest jetty in the Southern Hemisphere. We'll take a trip out to Weeroona Island and have a look there, and we'll look at a few other things as well. I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. If you like the following video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This getaway was going to take us about 2.5 hours north of our home here in Adelaide, and that was to the local seaside town of Port Germein. Yeah, g'day everyone. We're here at the Port Germein Caravan Park. It's 2 nights, and we're having a bit of a look around at Port Germein. And whilst we're here, we might go down to Weeroona Island and have a bit of a look down there as well. So enjoy. The entrance to the caravan park is opposite the main beach, and at the moment it's a very, very low tide. The town of Port Germein was proclaimed in 1878. It's a very old town, and it's what I'd consider to be a typical country seaside town, and it's a very quiet place to visit, and if you want somewhere that has got no riffraff, I guess, then this would be a spot to go. If you visit Port Germein at any stage at all, they're certainly catering for the visitor and tourist. They've got this great playground area here for the young ones, and as well as that they've got a clean modern amenities block, and not very far away from all of this, across the road towards the foreshore, they've got a row of picnic areas. They've got shelters and barbecues for everyone to use. It's certainly well set up. In the main street of Port Germein, they've got this war memorial garden, and that honours the people of Port Germein that have served in many of the wars that Australia's been involved in. On the Saturday night we had a great sunset as we were looking over the jetty, and then with the lighthouse in the foreground, it was very pretty to look at. At the town end of the main jetty, they've got this cargo shed here, and that's been restored and maintained to its former glory. And towards the end of this video you'll see where they use it when they have a function in the town, so it's great to see that it's been maintained like it has been. The thing that we're looking at now is an illuminated ocean tide times indicator, something new I've never seen before. And they've restored the lighthouse and put it at the entrance to the jetty. Now starting to take the long walk out to the end of the jetty. Now this jetty was once the longest jetty in the Southern Hemisphere, but unfortunately over the years, and with it being so far out into the water, It's suffered badly many times with storms, and I think even on one occasion it was partly destroyed with a cyclone. So it's no longer as long as what it used to be, but it's still a very long jetty. As I was walking out on the jetty, they've got these steps here that go from the jetty down to the beach. I think there was 3 in total from the shoreline out to the end of the jetty, so that gave people access to walk out on the jetty and go down to the beach if they wanted to, or even vice versa. You can walk out on the sand, because it is sand, it's not mud. It's a very long way out to low tide when the tide does go out, so you've got access to go from the top of the jetty or from the sandy beach type thing up back onto the jetty if you want to go out one way and walk back the other. Even when you do reach the waterline, it's still a long walk to go out in water before you get very deep at all as far as the height of the water goes. Once you get out towards the end of the jetty, the main walkway and platform there on the jetty is closed to the public, and that's because of recent storms where the jetty's been damaged. So currently the local government or the state government is communicating with the federal government for funding to repair that end of the jetty. I haven't got the exact length of the jetty as it stands at the moment, but I did fly the drone 1.6 kilometres out towards the sea so I could film the end of the jetty, so it's a long jetty. Not very many people on the jetty today, but don't be fooled by that. It was very, very windy, and it is a popular jetty for fishermen and crabbers alike. Now coming up to the end of the jetty as we view some of the damaged areas here that have been caused by storms over the years. The Port Germein Caravan Park, I would assume, has been established for many, many years, and it's a country caravan park that offers everything that you need. If you want to have a jumping pillow or a big playground or a swimming pool for the kids to get into, then this is not a caravan park that you want to go to. The amenities block that it's got is very modern, and I would assume, once again I use this word assume, I'm assuming that it's only a few years old because it is very, very nice and very, very clean inside. I don't think you would get better as far as facilities go, even if you're in a big 4 chain. It's a very nice amenities block. All the sites within the caravan park are raked gravel. There's no lawn sites at all, and that's fine as long as it's clean. That's all we can ask for. Now looking at the outside of the amenities block, and as mentioned before, it is very nice inside. It's got all the latest cons that you want, and this here is a camp kitchen, and it's nothing flash, but it is country, and it has got everything in there that you would want if you needed to cook a meal and have somewhere to sit down and eat it. It's the second time that we've stopped in this park, and as we did the first time, we enjoyed our stay here whilst we were here this time. On the Sunday morning before the wind got up very strong, we took a drive out to Weeroona Island and had a look around the island. Once we'd turned off the main Adelaide to Port Augusta road, it was only a short drive to go into the island, but you have got this one railway crossing here that you must go over. It's a very, very busy railway line, so please obey all the signs and stop and check for trains, because it is a known black spot for accidents on this line. As you drive towards the island, the road is subject to flooding if there's a king tide, so you just need to be aware of that if you're going to go out that way and you're not a local to the area. The western side of the island certainly offers some spectacular coastal scenery views, and I can see why people go out there and build on this side of the island. The island has its own boat ramp, and we turn now to go down to that area where the boat ramp is located, and it's there that I put the drone up so we can get a bird's eye view of the island. Starting from looking in a southerly direction, the drone pans around to look across the middle of the island and then has the drone facing in an easterly direction. Now coming back from a northerly direction, heading back towards the centre of the island again, and it's always confused me how the island has never had very much green grass on it. It must be the type of soil that I'm not sure. If there's anyone local to the area that's watching this video, can you leave a comment down below for me please, and just enlighten me as to why that green grass situation does occur here. The viewing from the island of a night time with all the city lights around the area would be very interesting to watch. You've got Port Pirie to the south, and of course straight across the Gulf you've got Whyalla and Point Lowly, and then of course to the north you've got Port Germein. On the northern side of the island you've got this tidal creek here, and it appears as though people would launch small boats here to go fishing. We're now back at Port Germein, where they were setting up for some markets that were going to be held during the late afternoon. It was 4 p.m. when they started, and I think they ran through until 7 o'clock that night. I'm not quite sure on the finishing time, but quite large markets, and apparently they're held here on an annual basis on this day. While the markets were on, they even had these rides for kids and adults alike. Sunday night sunset certainly wasn't as pretty and as spectacular as what the previous night's sunset was, but still certainly nice to look at. It was a great night to be sitting outside the van to enjoy the evening, and our last one before we had to head home, unfortunately. The two high tides during a 24-hour period. The one during the night, the water came right up to the foreshore here, but during the day, not quite as high. Well, it's Monday morning and our time here at Port Germein's come to an end. Been a very windy weekend, this one, but blowing a gale this morning, but it's going to blow us home, so that won't be so bad. So hope you've enjoyed what we've shown you, and until the next one, you take care and look after yourself. If you like the video that you just watched, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of our videos, click on the subscribe button, and once you've done that, change the bell notification to all. That way every time that we do uploads to our YouTube channel, you'll be notified.